Hi guys and welcome to DriveSpark. I'm Promeet and what you see over here is the all-new 2023 Tata Nexon EV. Now the company has done a lot of changes on the inside and on the outside than the previous generation model. So let me quickly start this video and I'll tell you everything you need to know about this electric vehicle. So now let's start off with the front end of the car, and before starting let me tell you that this car will be available in 7 color options, out of which you will have monotone and dual tone. What you see over here is a dual tone option where you get the roof in the black. And let me start off with the front end. So the front end, basically this car is very similar to the IC engine option that the Tata Nexon that recently we showed a video to you, and you can go check out that video that is live on our channel. So you get this piano black finish, again you get the DRLs over here, but to differentiate, what they have done is that they have extended this DRL all the way and joining both the DRLs. So right now the car is locked. When I unlock the car, you will see that the welcome lights come on and it actually looks really nice. So basically the center part of the LED will basically tell you how much charge is left when you plug it in. Overall you get a 360-degree camera. This is the front camera, the Tata logo, and the secondary grille is different than the regular IC engine. You can see that the regular IC engine gets a honeycomb grille. So this basically gets this brushed aluminum grille, and this is another grille. Basically you have these grills so that the air can flow and they can cool down the battery and the motor a little bit. Also you have the headlight unit over here, you have the fog light and the cornering light unit over here. This again, the entire setup is an LED setup. You also get some air vents over here that basically channel air and give the car better aerodynamics. Now let's quickly move on to the side profile of the car. So now coming to the side profile, you will see that this gets these beautiful 16-inch alloy wheel. Obviously the alloy wheel design is now different and it is actually the same that you get on the regular IC engine Nexon. It's a 16-inch alloy wheel, and the tire profile that you get over here is 215/60R16. You also get this EV badging over here. You get a blacked out ORVM with the integrated indicators, and this also has the camera. So again, this is a part of the 360-degree camera feature. No chrome print on the side. You can see over here the piano black finish. You get body colored door handles, and you get some amount of matte black finishing over here. Again, body cladding is present all over, making the car look slightly bulkier from the side profile. You get this silver roof rail, you get a shark fin antenna, and if you see over here, you get a rear spoiler as well. You get wraparound tail lights, but they end over here. And once again, let me tell you that the ground clearance on this is the long range version. So the ground clearance on the long range version is around 190 mm, but the medium range version gets a 205 mm ground clearance. But 190 mm is also very decent. You will be able to do some slight mild off-roading, but it's not recommended obviously with this car because this is not a 4x4 or a 4-wheel drive. But 190 is pretty decent. You can go over speed bumps without touching anything underneath. So now let's move on to the rear section. So now coming to the rear profile, over here you can see that I was telling you from the side profile that this is the spoiler. Obviously it does not get a high stop light. Plus you will also wonder where is the wiper. Now the wiper is very neatly integrated over here along with the washer. You get defoggers, and you can see you get these updated tail lights. Again, the same thing that you see on the IC engine Nexons. So they are a connecting LED, and if you unlock the car, you will have the same welcome feature and as you get on the front end. Looks very cool. Has got this blacked out design, got this piano black design. You have the camera over here, Tata logo. You have the Nexon EV badging over here, and to open the boot, you basically have the request sensor over here. So once you open the boot, you have around 350 liters of boot space. Plus you get a 60-40 split. If you want to fold on any side to carry more luggage, you can do that. And the boot lid is relatively light thanks to the hydraulic struts. So now quickly move on to the interiors, and let's start off with the rear section. So as you can see over here, this seat is adjusted according to my height. Actually I've moved it a little further because I'm, like, for reference, I'm 6'1", and as you can see right now also, if I'm sitting over here, my knee is actually touching very little at the front seat. Basically, rear section has a little less space, and as you can see over here, you get a sunroof as well. It's a small sunroof, relatively small sunroof. You get this electric blue stitching all over. You get around 3 shades of interiors. This is with the white with the grey finishing. You get perforated leatherette seats, and if you're 4 people traveling, you can deploy the armrest. It's a soft touch material. Again, you get 2 cup holders over here. Feature wise, you get AC vents. You can see over here that the dongle is connected, so you get a 45 watt fast charging. That's a type C. That's a really good thing. And overall, this is how the rear section looks like. You get some amount of chrome, piano black finishing, and soft touch materials on the door. So now let's quickly go on to the front section, and I'll tell you more about that. So now let's move on to the front section of the car. And over here, let me just quickly move this a little behind, because as I mentioned that I had moved this seat a little forward. So this is actually my driving position, and over here also you get a lot of changes. So the very first thing that you'll notice is this infotainment system. Now the regular Nexon gets a 10.25 inch, but this, the EV version, gets even a bigger. The biggest screen that Tata has ever given, that's a 12.3 inch. It's a very good infotainment system. The touch is really sensitive, but I feel that there is some amount of lag that happens while you press an app or you want to open an app. You get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, both wireless. And apart from that, the screen that you have over here is the cluster is a 10.25, the one that you again see in the regular Nexon. It gives a lot of information about the car. You have different viewing modes. Basically, you have 3 viewing modes that the driver can adjust according to his needs. Now, the seats are very comfortable. They are again leatherette, and they are ventilated seats. So you have 3 modes of ventilation. The ventilation switch is present on the other side. The driver's seat gets a height adjust, and for long runs and for a hot climate day, this seat is actually very comfortable, and the ventilated seats work really nice. You get an automatic climate control over here. You get this touch panel over here. Again, you get a wireless charging that is present over here. Now the manual handbrake has gone. You get an electronic handbrake. You get an auto hold. So the center button that you see over here, the rotor knob, it's basically your modes. You have City, Eco, and Sports, 3 modes. We'll be talking about that while we are driving the car. This is the gear lever. So you have a button over here. Press this and you can select your gears. You have PR, N, and D, and you also have a dedicated parking button over here. You get your 12 volt charging socket, your regular Type A, and your 45 watt fast charging Type C. Now the dashboard, again the layout is very nice. You have the AC vents over here. You get some carbon fiber finish. You get electric stitching over here. You also get some soft touch material, but this thing is a hard plastic. So as you can see, plastic is hard, but it's good quality plastic. And as you can see over, I was mentioning the sunroof is like this much. So it's a very small sunroof, but then too you have a sunroof in this car. You get this electric blue stitching all over, as I mentioned. So the steering wheel is again a leather wrapped steering wheel, but you do not get electric blue stitching on the steering wheel. Instead, you get black stitching. You get this illuminated logo that looks really, really nice. You get steering mounted controls on either side that control this infotainment system and the instrument cluster. Well, overall, you can see you get paddle shifters over here, but now you'll ask, why do you have a paddle shifter in EV? So these paddle shifters are basically for your regenerative braking. So you have 4 levels. Basically, you can switch it off. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 1 being the least generative, and level 3 being the highest generative of the regenerative braking. So overall, guys, the cabin is really nice. It's spacious. You've got piano black finish. You've got some amount of chrome inside. Over here on the door handles, again soft touch material present on the door everywhere, and this is a really, really premium cabin. So now let's quickly drive the car, and I'll tell you how the all new Nexon EV is to drive on the road. So now we're at the driving seat of the all new Nexon EV, and let me give you a quick motor brief, because there is no engine in this car. So this motor actually produces around 142.5 bhp of power and 215 Nm of peak torque, and it's made into an ECVT gearbox over here. Well, as I mentioned before, you have 3 driving modes. You have City, you have Eco, and then you have Sport. So the driving mode actually increases and decreases the throttle response. So it actually weighs up the steering wheel a little bit. So in Eco mode, you'll have a very light steering wheel and a light throttle, and on the Sport mode, you'll have a heavy steering wheel and a very crisp throttle response. And now coming to the power delivery of this thing. So as you know that this is an EV and there are no power losses over there because there is no drivetrain. It's the wheels are directly connected to the motor. So once you floor it, you can see that now you're in city mode and the car just shoots ahead. I mean, in the previous Nexon EV, what we noticed is that when you shifted from city to sport mode, there was a huge difference. And that difference was that when you are on sport mode and you floor it, like you just give gas completely. So what used to happen is that there was a lot of wheel spin that used to happen, and that car did not even have traction controls. So the people next to you actually used to get scared and move off the way because a lot of tire screeching noise used to come. But this, I think they have tamed it a little bit. If I put on sports and I floor it also, you can see that the car is shooting ahead, and I mean it does not. It is a pretty fast car, but the wheel spin has gone. So what is now the thing that you were worried about, especially during the rainy season like right now, if the road is wet and you put it on sportsman and you floor it, I mean there was a lot of torque steer that used to happen because I mean it's a front wheel drive car, so that's why. Overall, the setup, the acceleration is very linear in the eco mode. It gradually increases in the city mode, and then on sport mode, as you just saw right now, we're in city mode. Let me just put eco. So this is eco mode, and you can see that eco mode, the acceleration is very linear. And I mean the top speed is, I think we did not touch the top speed, but I think the top speed is close to around 140 to 145 kilometers per hour, because they have restricted the top speed, and due to the charging functions and all that, because the more the speed they will give, the faster the battery will drain off. So now talking about the battery, so the battery pack is a 40.5 kilowatt hour battery pack. Now this is for the long range one. The medium range one gets a 30 kilowatt hour battery pack, and obviously with that you have the range differences as well. So the claim range for this is around 465. But to be very honest, on a real world, you'll get somewhere between 350 to 370 if you drive like sanely. Charging facilities that you get, so you get a stock charger with this car. So the stock charger that you get with this car, that will plug into your normal AC wall socket at home. So that will charge the car in around 15 hours. And the wall mounted charger that you can purchase from Tata, that will charge the car in around say 6.5 to 7 hours. But there is also DC fast charging available with this car, and with the DC fast charging, you can charge this car with a 50 kilowatt charger. You can charge this car from 10 to 80% in just 55 to 56 minutes. That's just under an hour. So I mean, you have various charging facilities with this car, and I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good car. The suspension setup is slightly on the softer side because it gives you that comfort and that plush ride. And overall, I mean, the suspension setup is nice. It will absorb all the bumps and potholes that the city has to offer, or the highway has to offer to you. This car can corner. It's not we would not recommend you to like take very hard corners, because obviously it's a soft suspension, so it has some amount of body roll. Other than that, the steering wheel has a good response to it. If you see, if I just flick the steering wheel, it'll just change lanes immediately, and there is no delay or something in the steering response. The steering wheel is actually nice. It is pretty lively. Plus, there's one more thing, is noise. First of all, since it's an EV, there is no noise in the car except the tire noise that you hear. So obviously, you will hear other noises that are coming from outside. But since the NVH level is good and you have like good amount of insulation over here, so what will happen is that the outside noise will cancel out, and I mean, right now a car just passed by me, so I mean I cannot hear anything. So the conversation will not be hindered if you are having a conversation with 2 or 3 people inside, so that will not be an issue. And now coming to one more thing, so as you notice over here that there are paddle shifters on the steering wheel. So what the paddle shifters actually do is that they do not shift gears, since this is an EVT gearbox. So they help in the brake regeneration. So you have 4 levels of brake regeneration, and you have if you have 0, that has no brake regeneration. Right now the brake regeneration is off. So you have level 1, level 2 and level 3. So if you hit plus, it will obviously increase. If you hit minus, it will decrease, and if you long press the minus, it will continuously be off, and if you long press the plus button, it will go to the 3rd setting. That's the highest setting. And once the brake regeneration is on, obviously when you leave the throttle, you will have the single pedal driving mode, and with that you can drive within the city. I mean, with stop and go traffic, you will not have to lift your foot from the accelerator and hit the brake all the time, because obviously the car will be applying brakes, and with that the battery will also be charging. So now let's come to the safety features, and before the safety features I would like to point out that there are some features that this car also gets. So there is this arcade EV feature that this car gets on this infotainment system, and this actually is a app store. So you can download a ton of apps, you can download games. There are preloaded games in this. You can have Amazon Prime, you can have YouTube, you can watch videos. But again, once the video is on and the vehicle has crossed 5 kilometers per hour, the video will come to a pause or the video will stop. But Tata is saying that they will improve this, and once the car has stopped, then only you can watch the video. Other than that, if you move the car, it will just shut down the video. So now coming to the safety features of this car. So the safety features include 6 airbags, it includes EBD, it includes traction control, it includes ABS. All 4 corners have disc brakes, so obviously the braking is also really nice. You have good bite from the brake, and you have ISOFIX, and you also get a 360-degree camera feature. So yeah, the Nexon actually lives up to the safety features, because when the Nexon was launched back in 2000, the IC engine Nexon, when it was launched back in 2017, it actually created a benchmark for safety, scoring a 5-star safety rating, which was a big thing at that time. So yeah guys, this was the all new Tata Nexon EV, and this over here is the long range version. Obviously you have a mid range version as well. So once again, let me tell you that this car will be available in 7 color options. The booking amount will be 21,000. Obviously this will be priced at a premium over the previous generation and over the regular Nexon EV, because obviously it has got a lot of features and it is really updated from the outside, inside, as well as the motor. So let us know in the comment section if you need to know anything else about this car. Until then, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to all our social media channels. I'm Promeet signing out. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, be safe and drive safe.